Yinka Davis.
Good afternoon, everyone, Your Excellency, distinguished and esteemed guests. I'm so happy that you're all here. Any breast cancer survivors in the house, advocates and ambassadors, because we are all ambassadors of this now. Thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday afternoon with us in this very, very important public health emergency, as Mr. Bengadinka the first alluded to. Really, it is my pleasure to honor you and to welcome you to come see a first of its kind documentary and depiction of breast cancer as it truly, truly is in Nigeria. So 8 years ago in my clinic in the US, I was reading some mammograms and just doing my work, and one of the radiographers runs into the room and she says, Dr. Ebuoma, there's a lady from Nigeria. She's really, really hysterical. She's about 38 years of age, and she just got off the plane from a European country I'm not going to name. I said, why are you telling me? And so I said, okay, because I'm Nigerian, sure. Let me go speak with her. So I walk into the examination room, and I see a woman no more than 38 years of age who is completely distraught, completely just besides herself. And I said, what's going on? She said, I think I have cancer. I'm just coming from this European country. She had a stack of papers, and I'm looking through. And I said, but you started this in Nigeria. She said, yes. A few months ago, I felt a lump, but because I'm young, all the doctors I went to said, it's just a cyst and I shouldn't worry about it. I said, no mammogram, no ultrasound. She said, no, they said I shouldn't worry, but I'm a super health conscious woman. I have children under the age of 5, so I don't play with my health. So I started looking through the paperwork, and she said, so I went to go to a facility, and they did a mammogram, did an ultrasound, and told me I needed a biopsy. I said, okay, did you do the biopsy? She said, no. The moment I heard that word, biopsy, cancer, I called my husband, we bought a plane ticket, and I went straight to this country. But unfortunately, when she got there, they told her, you don't have insurance. From these pictures that we're looking at, it was a paper result. It looks like it possibly is cancer. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but you don't have insurance, but we can try to take care of you. She said they were taking too long, so the very next day, bought a ticket. That's how she ended up in the US. Unfortunately, I told her the same thing. Do you have insurance? She said no. I said, just like everywhere else in the US, we actually even have our own issues with providing health insurance and healthcare, so you're gonna have to pay out of pocket. She said, okay, I'll do whatever you want. I'll do anything you want. Let's just do the biopsy. And I told her it was gonna be cancer. She was eventually diagnosed, and she treated her cancer. Not too long after, almost serendipitously, an older woman who was now with her second cancer cycle came to the clinic as well, and they said, Dr. Ebuoma, there's a Nigerian patient here that I think you should see her. I said, why me? Because I'm Nigerian? They said, okay. So I went to go talk to this lady, and she said she felt a lump, went to see a doctor, and the doctor just took out the mass, sent it off to the lab, and turns out it was cancer. No imaging, nothing was done at all. They just knew that it was cancer, so her breast was now just a mess. So the moment that happened, she calls her son in the US, and he says, get on a plane, come to America. So she gets to America, and I say, do you have insurance? She said, no. I said, guess what? You're gonna have to pay for it out of pocket. We're gonna need to do more things because we don't even know the genesis of it. But then this made me think to myself, what about the other women who cannot leave Nigeria even if they wanted to? Or what about the women who are in Nigeria but choose or would prefer to stay in their homeland, to stay with their friends, to stay with their family, who can't afford to leave their work or their business to go to a foreign land where they now have to go through a different set of hurdles? What are the solutions, if any, of breast cancer and breast disease care in Nigeria? So that's what got me thinking, like, what answers do we have? So this series of questions are the genesis of what became Lily Women's Health. It's our big why and why we do what we do. As we all probably know now, the WHO declared this year that breast cancer is the #1 cancer now in the world. Every 74 seconds, a woman somewhere on the globe dies from breast cancer. Every 19 seconds, a woman somewhere in the globe is told that she has breast cancer. In Nigeria, at least 2 out of every 4 women diagnosed with cancer will die from it within 5 years. Some would argue that it's 3 out of 4. That's a whopping 75% that somebody would die from breast cancer in this country at 5 years. And why is the reason? Late detection and late treatment, because of the multiple cultural attitudes and beliefs that we have, coupled with the fact that we have limited healthcare resources. But perhaps the most startling statistics that shows the far-reaching consequences of breast cancer are the intergenerational consequences. New research now shows, and I was very struck by this, that for every maternal death from breast cancer in sub-Saharan Africa, there are 2 maternal orphans. That means a child under 18. Now we get to see that as a 1-to-2 ratio. So 1 woman dies, we get 2 orphans. Because most of the time they've spent all of the family's money to even treat their mother, by the time she succumbs to the disease, they're deeper into debt, they're deeper into the financial responsibilities that they have, and this propagates the generational cycle of poverty. So what happens, we see that it's not just about 1 woman, it's not just about 1 family, it's not just about 1 neighborhood or 1 local government or 1 state. It's about our nation. So today, through this documentary, you will all bear witness to the journey of 2 women who battled breast cancer in Nigeria, 1 early, 1 late. Now, as you bear witness, you are now able to testify. And through testification, you help to identify problems, which is late detection and loss of life. We now are able to aid in proffering for solutions, and then we create empowerment through visualization of this evidence. And as witnesses, you also become eligible to testify to the truth about breast cancer in Nigeria. And my hope is that we then are able to come up with better solutions for saving lives. Like everyone else on the planet, I look forward to the day where cancer has no effects or doesn't even exist in the human race. However, until we wipe cancer out of our human history, our strongest weapon remains early detection and early treatment. This is done through awareness, which is what we're doing today, creation of policies that promote preventative screening, such as mammograms at a certain age, or seeking care once you detect something. And as well, how we can together start to change the cultural attitudes and beliefs that produce stigma, poor health-seeking behavior, and as well, fatalism. There's a fatalistic attitude towards breast cancer where we automatically see it as a death sentence. And this is propagated through the cultural attitudes and beliefs. So this documentary was created to bring into visualization, to depict what we at Lilian Women's Health have been doing for the past 3 years, and to showcase what the current situation is, but as well, what's possible, to bring about hope, because all things are possible. And after this documentary, my hope is that we no longer say, TUFIAKWA, it's not my portion. TUFIAKWA is not my portion is a negative cultural coping strategy which fosters denial and ultimately untimely death. But rather, after watching this documentary, I would like all of us to be able to boldly declare in unison, TUFIAKWA, God forbid that we leave the current status quo of breast cancer unchallenged in our country. Once again, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the premiere.